Claude AI just released their newest 3.7 AI assistant with several new intelligence breakthroughs, but how smart is it now and how will it transform robotics? In fact, Anthropic is backed by both Amazon and Google, and SONNET 3.7 is claiming to be the most intelligent model to date, but with a twist, because it's also the industry's very first hybrid reasoning model, meaning that from playing Pokemon Red on Twitch to outshining rivals in coding benchmarks, SONNET 3.7 is already flexing its muscles in ways that could redefine how we interact with AI assistants. So what's new under the hood, and why should you care? Let's dive into the upgrades and explore how this could shape everything from your next coding project to the robots coming in the near future, starting with the following feature upgrades. Number 1. Hybrid reasoning. Unlike traditional AI models that either spit out quick answers or grind through complex problems, Claude's 3.7 does both, and you get to decide how it thinks. For instance, in standard mode, it tackles problems with near-instant responses, but flip on extended thinking mode, and it transforms into a meticulous problem solver, breaking down challenges step by step with a visible scratchpad showing its thought process. Just imagine you're debugging a tricky Python script with standard mode for a quick fix, whereas with extended mode, it walks you through each line in detail, explaining why each bug exists and how to avoid similar problems next time. Plus, Anthropic says this flexibility mimics how humans toggle between quick decisions and deep reflection, but now it's all in one model, meaning that whether working with people or even other AI agents, hybrid reasoning is a game-changing dual-mode approach for more difficult problems. But how smart is it really? Benchmarks tell part of the story, such as on the SWE-Bench, which tests real-world software engineering skills like fixing GitHub issues, and Claude 3.7 Sonnet scores 62.3% in standard mode and jumps to 70.3% with extended thinking. That's higher than OpenAI's GPT-4o, which has long been a leader in this space. Next, in multilingual understanding, it hits 83.2% in standard and 86% in extended mode while outperforming in agentic tasks. Think autonomous workflows like managing a codebase or drafting a report. And Anthropic's not just throwing numbers around. They've put Claude 3.7 to the test in a quirky but revealing way, playing Pokemon Red live on Twitch. While its predecessor, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, couldn't even leave Pallet Town, 3.7 has already defeated 3 gym leaders, showcasing its ability to plan, adapt, and execute strategies in real time. But it's not just beating Brock, it's showing off reasoning chops that could translate to real-world robotics too. And speaking of robotics, let's talk about Claude Code, a companion tool launched alongside 3.7 in a limited research preview. This isn't your average code autocomplete. It's an agentic coding assistant that can search repositories, edit files, run tests, and even push commits to GitHub, all from your terminal. In fact, during internal tests, Anthropic claims it slashed 45-minute manual coding tasks into single-session solutions. Now apply this to a robot building team. Instead of engineers painstakingly coding motor controls, Claude Code could potentially draft, debug, and deploy software, letting humans focus on hardware tweaks, for instance. And even though it's still in beta, its potential to streamline development pipelines hints at a future where AI doesn't just assist, but also collaborates in real time for smarter, more autonomous robots. But we'll get there in a moment, after we break down feature number 2, output length. Claude 3.7 now supports up to 128,000 output tokens, roughly 15 times more than before. That's over 90,000 words, enough to generate an entire novella in one go. For comparison, most models like GPT or Gemini taper off around 2,000 words due to training limits. This means Claude can handle massive tasks, like summarizing a 300-page robotics textbook or drafting a detailed AI ethics policy without breaking a sweat. For developers, it's a boon. Imagine generating a full app's backend code in one prompt. Posts on X have already highlighted users creating entire books with a single command, signaling a shift from a short-form AI tool to a long-form AI powerhouse. Now enter upgrade number 3, vision. Claude 3.7 can analyze images, PDFs, and text files, making it a Swiss Army knife for data processing. In the Pokemon stream, it sees the Game Boy screen, maps button presses, and adjusts its strategy, skills that could translate to robots interpreting sensor data or blueprints. Pair this with its reasoning, and you've got an AI that doesn't just react, but understands context. For robotics, this could mean drones that read maps on the fly or assembly bots that troubleshoot visual defects without human input. But how does 3.7 stack up against the competition? OpenAI's O3 Mini and DeepSeek's R1 also tout reasoning skills, but Claude 3.7's hybrid approach sets it apart. While O3 Mini is cheaper, about $1.10 per million input tokens versus Claude's $3, and R1 boasts raw power, Claude's user-directed reasoning control, letting users budget its thinking time, offers unmatched flexibility. In fact, testers praised its extended thinking for creative tasks like poetry, though it sometimes overthinks simple riddles. And against Grok 3 from xAI, Claude 3.7 reportedly edges out in analytical reasoning efficiency, though Grok's web search integration gives it an edge in real-time info, meaning that while the AI race is heating up, Claude is already carving out its niche in both thinking precision and adaptability. But now to the future of robotics and SONNET 3.7, starting with the famous Pokémon experiment, which isn't just a gimmick, but a proof of concept for sequential decision-making. In fact, it's part of the holy grail for roboticists, because machines need to plan, react, and learn from dynamic environments, whether it's on a factory floor or in the home. Plus, Claude's ability to strategize in a game, remembering objectives, adapting to setbacks, mirrors what's needed for autonomous systems. Add Claude Code's agentic abilities and you've got an entire pipeline where AI designs the control software, reasons through edge cases, and optimizes in real time. And early adopters on Amazon Bedrock using 3.7 are already reporting improvements in physics and competition coding, which are both fields that robotics lean on heavily. And while we're not at fully autonomous androids quite yet, Claude's upgrades are a definite stepping stone towards accelerating development cycles from years to months. As for availability, Claude 3.7 is on the Claude app, Anthropic's API, Amazon Bedrock, and Google Cloud's Vertex AI, with pricing steady at $3 per million input tokens and $15 per million output tokens. For free users there's standard mode, while premium subscribers unlock extended thinking. Plus, developers can tweak its reasoning depth via API parameters, tailoring it to their specific needs. However, some reported drawbacks include extended thinking sometimes overcomplicating simple tasks, and it still lacks real-time web search, meaning in those areas it's still lagging behind in breaking news scenarios. For pricing, 3.7 is a bit steeper than some of its rivals. Plus, Anthropic's strict content filters, rooted in its safety-first ethos, have reportedly frustrated some users pushing creative boundaries. But even still, these trade-offs pale against its strengths, especially for technical use cases. Anyways, tell us in the comments below how it's performed for you so far, and check out how it compares to Grok 3 by clicking this video right here.